In this video, we're going to look at another aspect of efficiency and effectiveness. Our overall summary shows that the time average for tasks performed is 106%. But this begs a couple of questions. How much of the paid day is the staff member actually being accounted for? And there's also an allied question which is sometimes asked, which is, are the times being used accurate, or have the figures been fiddled a little to make it look better? The net answer to this is that time doesn't disappear. If it's not in the task, it's in the unaccounted for time. And the unaccounted for time is a very useful indicator of overall effectiveness. So first, before we look at the reports, we'll go back to the staff records to see how we set them up to allow for measuring these details. So if we go back to Catherine, who we've been looking at, and we look at her staff details, we can see that she's down as a scheduled staff member with a start time of 7 AM and a scheduled finish time of 4 PM, with paid downtime of 20 minutes and unpaid downtime of 30 minutes, making overall downtime 50 minutes, so that her net day available for tasks is 490 minutes. And this has been done for those staff members who are deemed to be scheduled staff members. So we'll now go back to the reports, and if we then go down to the time usage analysis details, this will let us know how much of the day has actually been used. Now the first thing we notice that the records include 2,204 as required staff task records. These are tasks which have been performed by staff members who are not down as scheduled. They're presumably on an ad hoc time, and they come on when and as required. So we will select the scheduled staff members for the purposes of this report, which we've done here. And we can see in this instance they've been sorted first by the worker and then by the week. So we have Alex for week 1 with his totals, then his week 2 through the various weeks, and then we see the other workers and Catherine arrives. Or if we click by week, we see that all the records for the particular week are included and summarized in 1 week. And so we have here overall 302 hours, overall allocated time of 3.98 hours, and we're showing that 54% of the time for which the people are being paid has been accounted for. This is obviously not very desirable in operational terms, but it does illustrate the way this report works. If we wish to restrict it to a particular staff member, we can go back and do a search and just make it a staff member. For instance, we can click on Find and put in Catherine's name, and we're then able to go down and summarize just how much of Catherine's time we can actually account for. And so we have all the details summarized by the week. Or if we go to the next window, we see that it's just week by week by week. We happen to know in this case that it's just Catherine, but it could be all of the staff member, and here we have a 63% here of her time has been allocated for those weeks. And if we go to the next one, we can in fact do that analysis by the month. How much of each month of her time has been allocated. Now there may be many reasons why there's unallocated time. It may be that she's not full-time on these particular tasks and works on other things, or there will be normal times between tasks which are not accounted for. So it would be up to the individual operation to determine what this number here should be for the allocated time for each staff member. One can select all staff member and get an overall time of 54% compared to Catherine's 63%. And by trial and error and observation, one will determine what their particular percentage should be. Obviously, the higher the better for accounting terms, because we are accounting for time, but as the old adage has it, time truly is money in these circumstances.